foundation came about very quickly on the back of losing Andrew.
I guess in the early days it was, we knew we wanted to do something amazing in Andrew's name.
And I remember a group of us, was close mates and family, were sitting around in Sherborne and thinking, how do we react to this?
To be honest, quite amazing from where we started. It was us, the founding trustees, in a room thinking, what are we going to do?
Putting together something that could continue in his name, but also his values.
That sort of formed itself into the Andrew Simpson Sailing Foundation.
I'm ready! You're going to get the boats in the water!
I know what that means, but yay!
We're obviously all hurting a lot, but the one thing that we all wanted to do is have a foundation in his name that carried on his philosophy of helping the people who didn't necessarily get the limelight, get the opportunity, but had talent, had determination, wanted to do things. That's run through the core of everything we've done for the last 10 years. All the amazing things the staff have achieved in Andrew's name have had that at its central principle, which is everyone's equal. Everyone deserves a chance. It doesn't matter how unfortunate your circumstances have been in early life, you deserve a chance. Andrew never judged people. We started the foundation, we couldn't have dreamt it'd become what it is today, so impactful, so big. I think we all believe sailing had this incredible power. But I remember myself as a kid, first being on the water, feeling free of kind of probably being told off by my mum and dad, but as I've got older, free of the pressures of life when you're on the water, and I think a lot of us who sail feel that. And then you imagine the pressures of some kids from disadvantaged backgrounds who have physical or mental disabilities that they're struggling with. It's unbelievable what it can give.
When you're out on the water, everyone's the same, just about ability, not about whether you have Asperger's, whether you have autism. It's just about you as a person sailing.
The difference it has made in her has been enormous. People can be so mean. She's equal when she's down there. Gives her peace.
I've managed to make new friends. Sailing's my happy place.
3 years ago, Alfie was a different person. His behaviour was bad. He had got himself into lots of trouble. He'd been bullied. His self-belief was so low.
Coming out here is like me feeling safe. It makes me feel like I'm a new person. Other people see my actual other side of me.
Coming here for him has been one of the biggest changes that I've seen in the student. His whole attitude to school has changed, and he's even thinking of a career in the Navy now.
So same again on this tack, yeah, Dandy?
In the future, I'd like to get into more competitive sailing, so maybe become a senior instructor or a race coach and help people get their journey like I did.
I have dyslexia, and that means I struggle to read, and it was a pain at school, to be honest with you.
Very grateful to the Andrew Simpson Centre for the encouragement and time that they've taken, and also the understanding of their additional needs.
Always explain stuff. They always understand why I don't understand this or why I cannot read this. They are just great people.
Sailing is the only thing that I do feel confident doing and that I can do it. I do feel free out there. I do feel like I can do what I want and it's all down to me. It just makes me feel proud that I can do it.
It's really, really helped their behaviour and their engagement in school. The parents are really bought into this because the enthusiasm from their children's reactions has really spilt over. Just having that little support network of other parents to be with, that was a bonus that we never dreamt of having. It has the potential to be life-changing for them, and it makes them all really happy.
She used to be terrified of water, and now she can actually go in water now and not feel threatened.
My legs are still cold and they're in there.
Single parent as well, so to be there and see my daughter grow, and even more so thanks to the sailing, and helped her in so many ways. I can't be more appreciative.
I love it. I just love it.
Bart was a legend. He was such a talented sailor, but also he was the kind of guy who always made time for everyone. He certainly helped me a lot over the years, but I know he did this for a lot of people.
You wish you were around when he was. Just, he's one of those larger-than-life characters, essentially. And it's, it's one of those you don't want to forget. And I guess it does resonate within the team still, for sure. And I guess he sort of embodies the aspirations that we all have.
You know, from those very difficult days, something incredibly positive had such a huge impact on so many young people, both in the UK and around the world. I don't think Andrew would believe that if he was here. He'd just be absolutely gobsmacked with the results.
I first met Bart 40 years ago. Really became very, very close running up into the Sydney Olympics. And Bart was campaigning the laser, but stepped in for the fin trials just before and tested me to his talent. Came second, not by much to me, having only sailed about a week. And then we were having a beer after the end of the trials, and he said to me, right, what are we doing next? And I was a bit, it was way before the days where we were all funded, so I was like, well, Bart, what do you mean, mate? I think, probably I'll go to the Olympics. And he said, yeah, but what do you want me to do? And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I'm here to help. He said, I'm here to help. Anything you need, let's go and win a gold medal. Sailed back to the dock, having won the gold in Sydney. I saw my mum and dad, and in between them, with his big bare arms around my mum and my dad, was Bart in floods of tears, with happiness for his mate having just won. And that sums up who he was. So for me, fast forward 5-6 years to be able to say, Bart, I'm really struggling in light airs in the Star, and he was just such a talent in light air. So I said, would you ever consider teaming up with me? And when he could say yes, and then fast forward 2 more years when we're both standing together on top of the podium, having won with your best mate, your mate who's given you so much when there was nothing in it for him. Suddenly we were doing it together, and he had won a gold was, the most special moment of my life. I remember when I first started sailing with him, we'd be away on a training camp, and I would go, grab a glass of water in the night or something, and he'd be on the phone to someone, and I'd be like, what are you doing, Bart? And he'd say, Stephen's getting a few issues with his laser sailing. I go, who's Stephen? He was like, oh yeah, he's one of the junior guys on the squad, but he's really struggling with it, so I've been talking to him a little bit. And you find more and more, as we were spending all this time together, he was doing that for scores of people. He was a people, the men and the women, the younger sailors and older, who turned to him. And the amount of people who have even told me since that I didn't know about, who Bart had been the shoulder to cry on or the piece of advice. And that was what he was about, helping people, but not the actual delivery, the actual bit that he cared about, not the shouting about it. And it was something for the foundation we really wanted to maintain. We wanted to be about doing real, tangible things and not just being a brand. Like for me, the Andrew Simpson brand is something I want to shout about forevermore. But him as a person was about really helping people and not necessarily about telling everyone he's helped people.
That's it. Flip that left hand over.
I can remember teaching 14 and 15-year-olds here while I was a volunteer, or learning myself, and now seeing them doing that as well. So in that sense, you see the progression, and you see people following the steps that were similar to mine. So in that sense, it is nice to see that it does lead into development as well, and career options for people.
For me, I'm driven by the sport, my passion for the sport, and making sure that we can, in Andrew's name, provide as much access as possible across the UK, and then also ensure there's no real barrier to young people getting to wherever they would like to get to, whether that just be having fun on the water, or whether that be future Olympic champions or foiling experts or instructors or a career in the marine industry. That's what I'm driven by, to be honest with you. But, coming back to the point, obviously that's in Andrew's name, and he was my brother's best mate, a good mate of mine, and obviously sailing partner. So, for me, that's where a lot of the passion comes from, and my love of the sport, really.
We declare the centre open.
foundation feel, really proud of the children and the young people that we've helped, and hopefully now we have this base, we'll be able to continue that. We've got an amazing team of people that are passionate about the foundation and want to do really well and have helped us build it, and now I hope that it grows. And I know that my boys are fully excited about coming and joining and helping, and I really hope that we can continue in that way.
For me, it's about doing the right thing by Andrew, and I always reflect back and just say, just trying to put my hand on my heart and just say what we're doing is great for Andrew's legacy and great for young people.
My brother would be so proud, I do believe that, and I know that our family are proud. I know Andy would be proud of everything we've achieved, and it's only a testament to everyone that's helped us get there.
I'd like to sort of look back and to think in 10 years we're working with well over 50,000 people per year through our network of centres. For me, that would be an achievement.
In the first 10 years we've had a fantastic impact, and even if we just continued on that trajectory, I'd be really happy. But if the more people that we can work with and the more difference that we can make, we just make everything that we do worthwhile, and who knows what the future may bring. And it's really interesting when opportunities come to us, and I think that's really testament to what we're trying to achieve. It's really fantastic.
Even to get 10 years more of something similar would be, frankly, an amazing achievement for everyone that works at the foundation.
I mean, Andrew is a very, very modest guy. He'd probably be quite embarrassed by the success of the foundation in his name, but the impact that it's had on so many youngsters, he'd be really, really proud of that.